death and life are in the power of the tongue. We say the power of death and life in the tongue. No, death and life are in the power. The power is not in death and life. The power is in the tongue. And they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. I like to go to different translations. If you go to the Amplified version, it says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those that love it and indulge it will eat its fruit and bear the consequences of their words. Oh, can I preach to y'all that our words have consequences? Better watch. The Bible said every idle word we got to account for. Everything you've ever said inside your life, God said you better account for those things. He said our words have consequences. I teach my students will say, well, Mr. Baker, so we have freedom of speech. Isn't that the First Amendment, freedom of speech? I said the freedom of speech comes from the fact that you can say what you want and the government cannot put you in jail unless you threaten somebody. But just because you got freedom of speech, you do not have freedom from consequences. So if you want to put something crazy on your Facebook, yeah, the government can't put you in jail, but your folks at your job can still fire you. You still have consequences for what you say, amen? You are not free from consequences. What we have allowed to come out of our mouths, they have the potential to bless us and to curse us. Oh, you better hear me. So therefore, when we begin to say things, I'm thinking about some of the preachers who begin to say those things. When we begin to tell our kids, you ain't gonna be nothing. Well, she preached on yesterday, said, you stupid, you bad, you terrible, you this and you that. Watch what's gonna happen. You are cursing them with your words. Can I give y'all some women some help? If your husband ain't what you think he should be, you should not be tearing him down with your words. You ain't this, you can't do this. Why you ain't doing this? So-and-so down the street, he doing this. Guess what? You're tearing that man down. You ain't no real man. But guess what? If you begin to keep telling that man that, he'll never be a real man. Men, you keep saying, mama always did this. I gotta preach on me a little bit sometimes too. Ain't no men come in and help me out, that's okay. I gotta watch me always say, well, mama did this, and mama did it this way. I didn't marry my mama. And if you want things done, y'all better hear this, it's better to encourage people than to break them down. Y'all can leave me, I'll preach to myself inside of here, because our words have consequences. Be in some of the house today. There are things that are coming on the house of God and the people of God because we have joined the mockers and we have spoken against God's people. Before we can even start to talk about spiritual tongues, we need to learn how to control our natural tongues. Before I can talk about speaking in tongues, learn to control your natural tongue so that we are not mockers of the church and his people. No matter how messed up they are, you can give them truth, but don't spend your time mocking and ridiculing them. And for that reason, y'all better hear this, for that reason stuff has come to our houses. But we got to be watchful of the separated. Someone say the separated. See, the New International Version of verse 19 says, these are the people who divide you, who follow mere natural instincts and do not have the Spirit. We must be careful not to listen to the counsel of those that divide and not become dividers ourselves. We listen to folks who are always putting out division. That always got a problem with everything that go on. We listen to that, and the Bible says these are the people who divide you. See, division is one of the greatest tools of the enemy. I'm going to break that down. It is division. He understood. He said, the Bible says, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So he knew a full frontal attack against you will not come against the church. Because when we see something come out against us and we all know it's coming, what do? We link up, don't we? We join together. Lord, somebody came inside of here and they're getting the shoot up this church. There's the devil coming in. Guess what? The next Sunday, we be inside of here praying, speaking in tongues, coming together, checking on each other, saying, Lord, no weapon formed shall prosper. And the devil knows if I do that, it'll bring y'all closer. So what does he do? He infiltrates the church. He comes inside and says, I cannot come straight ahead. I must sneak inside and get them on the people of God. Division is one of the greatest tools of the enemy. And one of the ways the enemy has sent division is through individualism. Now I'm telling y'all, we've been reading the Bible, we've been reading it wrong. We have been reading the Bible wrong. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you why. Because we think everything's about us. And God does not see us as individuals. He sees us as a body. You better stop using that scripture out of context. And God come back for a church without spot or wrinkle. He means just me. No, he means the church. He means us. We said Tuesday night, we talked about communion, and he said, for this reason, many are sick among you, and many do sleep. He said, you know what, it wasn't just everybody doing something, it was a few doing things, and God sent judgment on the whole church. Because he sees us as a body. You know why I said that? Think about the Bible said that he said a man should love his wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. So God says, I joined the church. I'm a part of what you guys are going through. And when you guys mess up, it's going to affect everybody. And we don't understand about being individuals. We have neglected the teachings of the apostles gave us on being members in one body. And now we're intent on being individuals. What goes on in your life don't bother me. It don't worry me. And the problem is we're not connected. We're not connected with one another. We care about us and my family and what goes on in my house. That's all I care about. But we're not praying for nobody but us. Oh, y'all better hear me inside of here. And be quiet. I'm going to preach this one. Y'all might go ahead and do what you got to do. But I'm going to preach this one because we separate ourselves because we don't want to be connected in the body. We don't want to be connected sometimes in the body. And it's beyond just this church. It's beyond the people inside of this house. There are people that you connect to that are in other churches that you should be concerned about them. We should be connected to one another. We don't want to be responsible and submitted to the body. We don't be responsible to the body. We don't be responsible to a church. Therefore, we don't have any connection to others in the body. We are just out for ourselves sometimes. I want my blessing. I want my miracle. I want my healing. I want my son saved. I want my daughter saved. No, I want everybody's daughter saved. I want everybody healed. I want everybody blessed. We all gonna eat inside of here. I don't ever ask God to give me enough just for me. I said, Lord, let me be pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That way somebody else can get what I don't need. Oh, y'all hear me? We want to be saved on an island. I'm gonna preach this out of you guys. We want to be saved on an island. That they can do what they want to do, but I'm just going to be me. That is not what God called for. We want to be saved. We want to be isolated and insulated because we don't want to be hurt and disappointed by others in the body. Am I being real? So we push away from people because I don't want to be hurt and disappointed by people. I'm being real. We do that. We isolate and insulate ourselves because we don't want to be accountable sometimes to the body. I don't want to be accountable to what's going on. We don't want people to count on us because we don't want to let them down sometimes. So we know that we're irresponsible sometimes. I say, Lord, I don't want nobody to depend on me. I don't want to be accountable. So therefore, we isolate ourselves. We isolate and insulate ourselves because we don't want to submit ourselves to that which God has called us to. The thing about being inside of a body, there's prophecy in the body. And prophecy will sometimes call you out and say, you know what? You should be doing better than what you're doing. God has bigger things for you. And I know if I get around the church people, I'm going to go here. Any of y'all have never been backslidden? Don't raise your hand. But you've been in the backslidden state and you were scared to go to church. You know why you scared to go to church? You're scared somebody going to call you out and say you were meant for bigger than what you're doing. Now I'm going to preach on Elder Baker because when I was out there in the world, when I knew I would do what's right and I knew what not doing right, I was scared to go to church because I knew if they're going to prophesy to anybody tonight, they're going to pick me out. If anybody will get prophesied to and say they got to do better, they're going to pick me out. So therefore, I want to separate myself. Y'all better hear me. And when I went down to Southern Miss, I was preaching about that with First Lady Benton. Went down there trying to hide, and God sent a woman that spoke to me and my wife and said, you are called for bigger than what you're doing. God has a call on your life. Now, I was trying to separate myself because I did not want to be accountable to that call. Therefore, we begin to do these things and we insulate ourselves, and that is a miserable existence, and misery loves company. Therefore, we spread division by speaking against our brother and our sister, and we say the church is not about anything, and we look for those that agree with us to soothe our hurt. So if you agree that things are going bad and things are going bad, so we get together, we talk about these things, and we never begin to fix anything. We don't pray no more. And we must break that spirit in all of our lives. We must remember that it doesn't matter how messed up someone may be. They are still your brother and they're still your sister. Now I got brothers and sisters, they've gone through some things and you may talk about it. We may talk about them. I don't let nobody else talk about them. And y'all the same way about y'all children, ain't you? Same way about your brothers and sisters. We got to see that this is a brothers and sisters inside the house of God, and we're not going to sit there and begin to pick on each other. And we must watch. Y'all better hear this. Watch that we're not dividers with our words. If we can't speak life, don't you dare speak death. Don't you dare speak death. You can't speak life. The spirit of the vision, it must die in the church if it's going to succeed. And the success of the church is imperative to your survival. Some of y'all think we don't need nobody preaching. I don't need nobody praying for me. I don't need nobody doing these things. Guess what? That is not biblical. We think that we can live right without a vibrant and gifted church, but that is not biblical. Amen. He didn't die just for you. He died for all of us. Amen. He cares about all of us. Y'all better hear this. We need one another because iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. I need people around me who are going to push me to a higher level, who are going to encourage me when I'm doing the right thing, who are going to rebuke me when I'm doing the wrong thing, who are going to rebuke me when I'm really out there sometimes. We need that inside the body of Christ. I was preaching before, so that's why I don't have very good experiences working out by myself. You know why? I can't push myself. Some people go in there and hurt themselves working out. I don't do that. If I start feeling like I'm hurt, I don't do it. I stop. I go back home, I eat some ice cream, and I feel bad for myself. Because I can't push me. But you know what? That's why we have spotters, isn't it? That person that said, no, you can do a little bit more. You can go a little bit farther. You can run one more mile. But see, me, as soon as I get hurt, I don't want to run no more. This is why you cannot live saved without being connected to some kind of a body. To some kind of group of believers. We need each other to push us sometimes. Y'all got quiet. That's the truth. You see, no part of the body can live outside the body. Cut your finger off, it's gonna die. Cut your toe off, it cannot live outside of the body because the body pumps blood to every part. Blood and oxygen to every part of the body. I don't care how important you are, you think you are not more important than the body. You may be the heart, but even the heart cannot live outside the body. And while when they have people with heart transplant, they try to make sure to get it out fast as they can. They have a certain amount of time for their heart is not going to be good. It cannot live and survive outside the body. Oh, somebody said we need the body. So here's the thing, you can only speak the words of the Spirit that's already in you. I can only speak what's in me, man. See, are you speaking from instinct or are you speaking from inspiration? See, Jude says that those that separate themselves are sensual and they don't have the Spirit. See, sensual means that they operate out of a fleshly and an instinctual nature. We all have instinct, don't we? You know what hurt us for even begin to start to believe in God and to begin to start speaking in tongues and believe God for prophecy and all these things? Because our instinct tells us that ain't real. Not being real? That instinct says, you ain't no prophet. I give somebody a word. There's instinct inside of us. The fleshly side of us says that we are limited, that we're not spiritual. And so therefore, we operate out of an instinctual nature. And when you separate yourself, you become a divisive person because you operate out of instinct and not out of spiritual inspiration. Oh, I'm going somewhere. If I view everything out of my natural eyes and perceive situations based on my knowledge and my experiences of people and the world in which I live in, I will always speak from instinct. I will always speak on the flesh. I will always see things in a fleshly manner. And it's dangerous to speak from an instinctual place. I'm going to tell you why. Because the Bible states that the heart of man is deceitful. That's Bible. Get quiet, that's true. The Bible says your heart. Somebody say my heart. My heart is deceitful. It tricks me sometimes, doesn't it? It makes me think things are there that aren't even there sometimes. It makes me think things are going on that aren't even going on sometimes because my heart is deceitful. Therefore, I'm learning with myself. And sometimes I say it, I say, Lord, I got to watch what I say. I'm careful to say that I'm speaking from my heart. But because unless I'm submitted and transformed, my heart ain't always right. I'll preach to me inside of here, y'all. My heart ain't always right. Sometimes I have good intentions. I think they're good intentions, but they're the wrong things. Sometimes my heart is not always right unless I'm submitted to the will of God. And my heart not always right because it has been hurt sometimes. Who's been hurt here beside me? And when you get hurt, it makes you change the way you think about things. It makes you change the way you view things. And so sometimes we experience some stuff and we're not always readily able to trust what God wants. That God says, I want you to connect with that person. I want you to love that person, to reach out to that person. But Lord, I've been hurt before. So your heart tells you, don't do this, don't do that. But God says your heart is deceitful. That's why the Bible says, let this mind be in you, which was also in Jesus. Knew we would reject him. He knew that we wouldn't all listen to what he said. He knew we would turn our back on him. But yet he still humbled himself to death, even the death of the cross. Y'all better hear me inside of here. That's Bible, isn't it? See, when people speak only from instinct, they've ignored the Spirit. They say, Lord, I can't ignore the Spirit. When someone says, when everything someone says is against people, they can easily speak negativity. They are speaking from instinct and not from inspiration. We need to be careful to not become instinctual. Our words are a mirror to what's going on in our heart. Jesus said in Matthew 12 and 34, O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, out of the abundance of your heart, I'm going to preach on this in a little bit, the mouth speaketh. When your heart is hurt and it's corrupted, your mouth going to tell on you. See, you can't say, well, I don't know where that came from. Oh, it was already in there. It was already there. Sometimes we push it to the side and we say, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to deal with this thing. But guess what? Your heart will be corrupted and your mouth going to tell off on you. And I've been praying that God will not just work on me to watch my words, but I want him to fix my heart. Can I preach to y'all real quick? We pray, Lord, control my tongue. Control my tongue. So I don't say nothing crazy. So I don't say nothing stupid. I say, the problem with that is we want the control at the exit point. But we don't want to close the entry point. I want God to watch what comes out of me because it embarrasses me sometimes. I said, no, Lord, watch what goes into me. Oh, y'all better hear me. Lord, because if it was never there, it can never come out my mouth. So I'm getting to go beyond saying, Lord, let me control my tongue. Let me control what I say. Lord, let me control what I feel. Let me control what I think. Let me control what I dwell upon. I don't want to do that. It is only so long I can hold my tongue if I'm filled with evil thoughts and evil perceptions about my brothers and my sisters. It's only so long fake thugs can pretend. The Jay-Z laugh, y'all young people inside it. It's only so long you can be fake about things. After a while, what's in you coming out of you. Y'all better hear this. After a while, whatever's in me is going to come out. Therefore, my prayer is that God removes anything that is not like him from my heart so I can see people the way he sees people. I'm going to preach this out of here. Lord, so I can love them the way you love them. Everybody is important to God. They may not be important to you, and they may be getting on your nerve, but God intentionally made them. Oh, he's intentional, and he loved them enough to die for them. He didn't just die for Daniel. He died for all y'all. Amen. We gotta watch and say, Lord, I gotta watch what I say. Because, if you thought enough about Brother Ty to die for him, I gotta watch what I say about him. Because if you would kill your son for him, oh, Lord knows what you do to me for him. Now, it's quiet, but it's right, y'all. We gotta watch what we say. We gotta watch also what we dwell upon. God, if it's not good, if it's not right, Lord, begin to shift it out of me, God. Take it. The old thing says, search me, Lord. If you find anything that shouldn't be inside of me, God, I know that, Lord, I've been hurt, I've been done wrong, but Lord, I cannot hold these things inside of me because after a while, it's coming out my mouth. After a while, the Bible, we say that song, that after a while your sins will find you out. And now sometimes we don't just have transgressions, but we have iniquities. Iniquities are inner sins. There are inner transgressions that nobody sees, but if we don't get them right, they're coming out of our mouth. And we say, Lord, well, I didn't cuss nobody out. I didn't say this. I didn't do that. God said, you ain't got to cuss nobody out. Y'all better hear me. You ain't got to use profanity. Sometimes the things that we say can really hurt people. And I'm preaching to Elder Baker too. I'm preaching elevator because being a father, being a parent, God is dealing with me on a lot of things. He said, son, he said, you must begin to build your son up. Don't always beat him down all the time. Y'all better hear me. You gotta build your wife up. Don't always beat them down. Be more positive than you are negative. I was talking to my father about some stuff about the organization. I said, Pop, let's spend more time being positive about the ones who are doing than the ones who are not doing. And I began to do that. And guess what? He began to say, Lord, I'm gonna change. I'm not always be negative all the time. And then God said, okay, good. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. He said, you gotta make sure you're more positive than you are negative.
Yeah.
Preach people up. Don't preach people down. Don't preach people down. So know why I'm preaching this? Because God says all of us can be better. If you think you can't be better, then something's going wrong inside your life. All of us can be better. Everybody's important to God. So Lord, let me see them how you see them. Let me love them how you love them. Let me be patient with them as patient as you are with me. Because He's patient with me. Don't we say to the Son, Lord, be patient with me. We say, be patient because God is not through with me yet. God said, I ain't through with them yet either. What did Minister Booth preach yesterday? She said that we ask for forgiveness and we don't forgive each other. So we can't forgive each other. Guess what? God said, I can't forgive you. Because I can't give you something you won't give away. I can't give you something you're going to keep to yourself. He said, whatever I give you, you're willing to give those things away. Lord, let me be as long-suffering with them as you are with me. And let me speak about them the way you speak about me. We give people truth. We don't have to beat nobody down. Amen? So now I have to give you some truth. It's time for us to be built up. Because Jude writes that we should be building up ourselves on our most holy faith, praying in the Holy Ghost. The purpose of speaking in tongues is not to prove how gifted or anointed you are. I used to hate to speak in tongues sometimes because there are some people who can speak in paragraphs, can't they? I mean, just so eloquently, they can just speak all these words. And I said, Lord, I just not reached that level to be able to do that. But God said, it's not about showing people how gifted or anointed you are. Keep your little stuttering tongues down.